A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you're all doing very well indeed, and let me know if you're excited for the December Community Day re-roll, which is going to be happening on the 12th and the 13th of this month. There's some very good news and some extremely bad news, which we're all going to get into. But first and foremost, I wanted to say thank you very much to the Discord member Alex for actually reiterating me to do this idea. Otherwise I might have waited too long and completely forgotten and you wouldn't have had a guide, so thank you very much. Like I said, it's going to happen on the 12th and 13th of December 2020, and it's actually going to be happening, it's a 6-hour window each day. You've got two 6-hour windows, 11 till 5, like it has been. It's a play from home style comm day, thankfully with the boosted incense once again. I think that's going to be very, very good for a lot of people. But what I want us to do with this video is steer your focus to certain Pokemon that are going to be appearing and certain 2019 Pokemon that are going to prove very, very useful in the game. On that note, I need to address the elephant in the room, which is that Niantic have decided to not put the 2018 moves in the game for this comm day. That's like, I was not expecting them to put the 2018 mons in at all, like spawns or raids. I thought they would ditch them fine. But you're not even going to be able to evolve the 2018 comm day moves. That means there's no Meteor Mash Metagross, no Frenzy Plant Venusaur, no Smackdown Tyranitar available at all. Charizard with Blast Burn apparently will have an event in 2021. They did say that on its comm day, or prior to Charmander comm day in 2020, but none of us knew that it was going to focus the entire 2018 comm day Pokemon selection and throw their moves into the bin. So Niantic, I think that's a really daft idea. It's not exactly the hardest thing to enable Meteor Mash Metagross to be evolved to in the game. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? I have a trusty cheat sheet here, look at that. I spent quite a lot of yesterday actually going through and noting down what might be useful for you all. So, let's quickly go over the 2019 Pokemon selection. Now, like the 2018s last year, if you want to check out last year's like highlights video, it can be linked up there, or that side, I don't know which side, I think it's that side. The 2019 Pokemon, including Totodile, Swinup, Trico, Bagon, Torchic, Slackoth, Mudkip, Route, Turtwig, and Trapinch and Chimchar, all those 11 Pokemon are going to be in raids and in eggs over the course of the weekend. So that's a pretty good way to get a decent IV one, and hopefully the shiny rate will be quite high. I remember it not being very good, but then again last year I didn't do too many raids. So that's going to be the only way to get the 2019 Pokemon. We'll come back to which ones are going to be the most important for you to focus on. Much like last year, the current year's comm day Pokemon are going to be split over the Saturday and Sunday, 6 and then 5. On the 12th, the Saturday, we're going to have Piplup, Rhyhorn, Abra, Seedot, Weedle and Ghastly. Those 6 will be spawning on the Saturday the 12th for everybody at 11 till 5 PM. Sunday the 13th is going to have the other 5 from the remainder of the year. That will be Magikarp, Porygon, Charmander, Electabuzz and Magmar. So those 5 will be spawning in the wild for everybody 11 AM till 5 PM on the Sunday. There are a couple of extra boosts, so each of the days you're going to get 2 times Catch Stardust and half incubator distancing. That's what it is, that's what it is. So there's no XP bonus, which is a bit peculiar, but then again we are getting these super 2000 XP per excellent throw, so hopefully Rhyhorn, quite easy to hit, Ghastly, I think Abra, Weedle, not Weedle, Weedle's tricky. On the Saturday, the 12th, we're going to have boosted or increased Mega Gengar raids. I'm assuming that is to coincide with the fact that Ghastly is a featured comm day Pokemon. Likewise on the Sunday, the 13th, we're going to have increased Charizard X Mega raids. So each of those days you'll get a specific kind of Mega boosted, which I think is good because that's going to help with the XL candy catching, that's going to help boost up, you know, the Mega Energy and stuff, so that's not too bad. But I'm hoping that the level 1s are going to feature predominantly, because the level 1s for 2019, there are quite a few 2019 Pokemon I'm going to recommend that you go for. Now we're going to move into how to actually play these comm days, and my number 1 tip to all of you is catch absolutely everything. And I know that a couple of videos ago, or 2 videos ago, I was laughing about like, oh god, we're going to have more Magikarp, more Charmander. The difference is that this time round we've got XL candy in the game and level 50, obviously, and one of the tasks for level 47, I think, you have to fully max out 6 Pokemon. You can accumulate Stardust on the go, but candy-wise, genuinely this is going to be the best opportunity to stock up on as much candy and XL candy of quite cheap and out and about Pokemon, as it were. Why should I put the cheat sheet away? Why should I do that? So obviously catching everything for the XL candy, the candy and the double Stardust is going to be predominantly the focus, but there are a couple of mons in each year. Each year selection has like what, 5, 6 or 7 that would play very nicely into prepping, as it were, for either their Mega Evolution, their Conde move is very good, and getting the candies for them because they're quite rare. These are the 2019 Pokemon I think you should be predominantly focusing on. They're only available in raids and eggs, obviously, so if you see an invite for one of these and you want to raid it, do accept it. I'll be sending out invites for these Pokemon. My first pick is going to be Bagon. 2019's Bagon Conde made Salamence with Outrage. It's like the best non-legendary dragon type in the game. It's a fantastic shiny. But also Bagon is extremely rare, very, very rare. It's not in the quests at the moment, I don't think. It doesn't really appear in the wild anyway, so this is going to be one of the best times to try and get a good IV one, possibly a good IV shiny, and stock up on XL candy, because Salamence at level 50 is going to be very, very useful. Plus, it gets a Mega Evolve. There is Mega Salamence in the game, or it will be coming out at some point, so that's prepping ahead of that. I'd say Bagon genuinely is the one I'm going to focus on hardcore for the raids, much like Beldum in 2018. I'm going to focus on Bagon for 2019's Conde selection. All 3 of the Gen 3 starters, Trico, Torchic and Mudkip, all have a very, very high level place in the meta currently. All of their movesets are brilliant, Frenzy Plant, Blast Burn and Hydro Cannon respectively, but also stocking up an XL Candy and good IVs, they're all great shinies. And each of them gets a Mega Evolve in the near future. All of them outclass the Gen 1 Mega counterparts by a considerable margin. Blaziken, Mega Blaziken, I think, is going to even outclass Charizard Y, which is kind of insane. It has an even higher attack stat. Mega Sceptile outclasses Mega Venusaur by a considerable margin in terms of DPS. Mega Swampert isn't quite as high on the attack as Mega Blastoise, but its defense and TDO is insane. That's why the 3 starters for Gen 3 really, really recommend going for those. These next 2 are not moveset focused, but they are in case of like stocking up on candy. They're very, very good counters, plus they both, well, one of them gets a Mega. First up, Swinup. Now, I know you're going to be thinking, Milo, bro, it's winter spawns, we've got Swinup spawning in the wild, and that is true, but more XL candy is never a bad thing, and the more candy you can pick up, the better, really. So, and also getting a good IV shiny of Mamoswine. Mamoswine is one of the best ice types in the game. It's readily available, it's far more easy to obtain than Galarian Darumaka, only at 7km eggs. Routes, on the other hand, Routes is the final one I'd recommend going for. It doesn't have a very good moveset from the community day. Synchronize is a bit crap, so you really want to have a good Gardevoir army. Gardevoir is a solid fairy type, and it does get a Mega Evolve. Mega Gardevoir will be in the game at some point. It's very, very good, top tier fairy type. And also candy. Rance candy, XL candy, that's not a bad thing. So stocking up on those 2019 mons is going to be key. Now we need to look at the 2020 Conde selection. And you've got to remember that XL candy did not exist in the game at the time of any of these solo Condes over the past year. So all of them, realistically, you should be aiming to catch. But there are quite a few that play a predominant role in the meta, either as a solo Mega to boost your team, or as a raid counter, or something else in the PvP scale of things. So let's have a look at the 2020 selection, shall we? My number 1 pick is, I'm a raider, I love raiding, so Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn, I already said it was going to be the one, even without XL candy and boosting that sort of thing up to level 50, I was going to go ham to try and find a good IV shiny or 2. So I'm going to go absolutely mad for Rhyhorn because the shiny's fantastic, I love the Pokemon. The move Rock Wrecker is the best overall rock type in the game. I prefer it over Rampardos. Rampardos is too weak. Even moves that aren't very effective against it take it out in 2 goes. So get rid of Rampardos, frankly. Rhyperior obviously doesn't get a Mega. Its moveset's the best, honestly, and the candy. You need the XL candy because Rhyperior at level 50, I'm pretty sure is going to be absolutely insane. So stock up on those candies, people. The next one I would really, really look to prioritise is something I said on the live stream on Radar. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody, for that. Magikarp. Now, I know you're probably looking at me and go, Milo, what the bloody hell are you talking about, mate? Magikarp, okay, apart from anything else, it's the easiest mon to catch in the game. It's super duper easy because, literally I was gotchering on Conde and catching shinies like that. No problem whatsoever. Stocking up on candy for Magikarp is going to be incredibly easy. Getting the XL candy is going to be key because Gyarados, I think, will be one of the, probably the first mons I put up to level 50. I have a 96% shiny, I do have a couple of Handos, but genuinely I think that will be my priority, is to get up much as Magikarp candy as possible. Plus, Gyarados does get a Mega form. It does get a Mega Gyarados form, which it will be coming out in the near future. I'm sure it will be one of the top tier water types, and you can't argue with a water boost. It's Gyarados. Gyarados looks fantastic as a shiny, so why not? The moveset Aqua Tail, you know, it's PvP like Team Rocket kind of move, so you can choose to get it or not. Next pick is Charmander, and I know I made a big song and dance about Charmander being a rerun. Basically, it's the only community day we've had twice, 2018 and 2020. However, we already know that Charizard Y is absolutely OP, and if you want to do any like soloing or duos of Pokemon that are weak to fire, Cobalion and Genesect immediately come to mind, and Mega Abomasnow actually as well. Mega Charizard Y, you can now boost that to level 50, and to do that you are going to need a good IV Charmander, be it shiny or not. Seriously, you're going to need so much XL candy, and that's going to be spawning on the Sunday for you all. So you've got to go absolutely ham for that, get as much candy for Charmander as possible, because if you can convert it into XL candy and stock up an XL candy along the way by catching and trading hasn't quite come into the game yet, that will be coming soon I assume, and transferring as well. Genuinely, Charmander has suddenly gone from low, laughable tier to extremely high on the priority list. Another one that's going to prove very, very useful with a Mega form is Ghastly. Now, Ghastly, again, I was laughing at it and very annoyed at the time. However, I do have a ton of Ghastly candy, but the thing is, converting it is 100 normal candy into 1 XL candy. That is quite expensive. So if you can go around and catch loads and loads of Ghastly and get normal XL candy organically, that's fantastic. So I'll be catching every Ghastly I can see, pineapping, all of that jazz. Mega Gengar, if you can get a good IV shiny, Mega Gengar as a shiny looks so much better than the normal one anyway. Plus, it's also one of the highest like attack Pokemon in the game, and you need to use it for ghost type boosts. You've got to use it for ghost type boosts as well. These next two are probably not quite so high on the priority list, but Abra. Okay, now Abra was the first kind of like letdown. That was actually meant to be March's Com Day, and obviously the pandemic kicked off globally pretty much, and then that got cancelled and it got postponed to April. That's why we had a double in November to catch up. But Abra, the Com Day move is kind of rubbish. Counter, not really recommending you go for that. I am recommending you stock up on the candies, of course, though, because the XL candies you're going to need. And Alakazam, when you evolve it, it does get a Mega form. That will come into the game in the near future, I hope. So, Mega Alakazam for a Psychic type boost, they'll probably introduce that way ahead of Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo Y and X. My final one is, it's one we actually recently had, Electabuzz. Now, again, you might be looking at me and thinking, what the hell are you talking about, mate? Electabuzz, evolving into Electivire, you do not need the Conde move. In fact, I would almost recommend that you TM the bloody thing away. However, it does get Thunder Shock, Wild Charge as the electric type moveset. That's the premier electric type moveset. Raikou gets it. And Electivire is the best non-legendary attacking electric type in the game. Stocking up on the XL candy for that means that anybody who hasn't got, you know, Raikou, Zapdos, Zekrom, and to be honest, none of us are going to have the XL candy for those at all, and even doing rare candies and stuff, that's going to take an age. So if you wanted to get a top tier sort of electric type to level 50, as soon as possible, Electabuzz is your ultimate pick, really, because it's the one you're going to be able to get the most candy of in the quickest time. Doesn't get a Mega Evolve, the moveset's rubbish, but you can just catch the damn thing. And I'm hoping that this time round, Niantic, you actually make it easier to catch. Those are my tips, people. Apart from anything else, just catch and raid and do whatever. Genuinely, your passes, your remote passes, are more valid, the Gen 3 starter raids and the Bagon raids, than they are on Kyurem. Genuinely, I know you have to do some Kyurem raids for the quests to get to level 50, but beyond that, don't raid Kyurem. It's not worth your time. Even for XL candy, you're better off waiting for it to come around with a shiny, because then everybody's going to be going ham for it. The other thing I would recommend is you've got to clear out your bag space. Clear out as much bag space as possible, because you want to be catching, you don't want to have to be transferring, trading, all of that stuff on the go, and you're going to need a lot of resources. Can you imagine, like, we had 2 com days 1 week apart, like 7 days apart, and I was struggling for resources, really struggling. So can you imagine what it's going to be like? It was a bit like GoFest. You know, we're going to have so few resources at the end of day 1 that it's going to be tricky. So try and stock up as many Ultra Balls, open all of your gifts as best you can, spin as many stops, try and stock up, because it's going to be a challenge, people. Anyway, I hope that was constructive and useful for all of you. Personally, my top picks for each year, Rhyhorn for 2020, top pick, and Bagon, 2019 top pick. Those are the two that are going to be the main focus for me. Let me know in the comments what you are going to be focusing on. Are you remotely interested in this Com Day re-roll? Are you going to be chasing a certain one? Is there a shiny you didn't get for whatever reason? Did you play the 2019 Com Days? I'm going to say, with that, I'm going to continue my Team Rocket grind, because actually this is sort of being filmed in the middle of the morning where I'm going to be doing the level 55 stuff. Video coming soon for that, hopefully. Anyway, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please do make sure to subscribe if you are new with the notifications on, and of course smash the like button if you enjoyed it. You don't want to miss any live streams or uploads, so definitely hit the notification bell, people. I'm excited for the Com Day, genuinely excited for the Com Day. December 2020 is going to be a good one. It's just a shame that we can't get the 2018 movesets. That's a real problem. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video, everybody. Do take care.